Hello, today I want to talk about advanced character customization for your games. Minor customization can be done using more targets only when significant mesh customization such as character height or body proportions require a bit more efforts. Sometimes everything goes okay even with more targets only, and sometimes the pivot points may be lost. To fix it, we need to create a corrective pose that moves joints to the expected pivot points of the updated shape and a morph target to fine-tune the mesh to the final look. I have a simple character I've exported from MakeHuman creator. It has a few shape keys, and as you see, when I apply this shape key, the distance between the skeleton joints and the expected joint positions is very huge. The same here, and the third shape key should work fine. Let's start with getting a corrective pose. Because the mesh is attached to the bones, it is better to turn off the armature modifier. One thing I always do is I save the rest pose as the first frame. So select all the bones, click Create a key for locations and rotations. Let's create a corrective pose. It is a very good practice to use locations and rotations only. Don't care about bone tails, they are not important for Unreal. Keep initial bone scales, because changing scale can destroy your animation. As soon as it's done, select all the bones and create another key for locations and rotations on the second frame. If you have a few shape keys with the same problem, you can create a frame for each corrective pose. Because that corrective pose does some mesh deformation itself, the initial shape key doesn't work as expected anymore, so we need a shape key that only completes the mesh after applying the corrective armature pose. Ensure that the character is in the corrective pose with the right pivot points. Armature modifier is turned on, and all shape keys are set to 0. Then go to the Modifiers tab and save the armature modifier as a shape key. Next, head over to the Object Data Properties, find the new shape key. I'm going to rename it. Find the initial shape key we want to fix and set relative to the new shape key that we have got from Armature Deform modifier. Now this shape moves vertices by the difference between the initial shape key and the armature shape key. So when we use the pose and the shape key together, we get the same shape as in the beginning, but now the skeleton also corresponds to the mesh. Let's prepare for export. All shape keys to 0, set animation length, select the mesh, the skeleton, and export them as FBX. Select it only, geometry, smoothing face. Do not apply modifiers because it prevents exporting shape keys. Armature, antique additive bones. And finally click export. Let's go to Unreal Engine and import the FBX. Make sure that you import animations, morph targets, and normals. Now we need to create one frame additive corrective animations for each shape key, and I also recommend to create an additive animation base from the rest pose. So go to the imported animation from Blender, The first frame is the rest pose. Select it, create asset, create animation from current pose. I will call it anim additive base. Go back to the initial animation. Second frame. Create asset, animation from current pose. And the same for further poses. Now we need to set up additive properties for the corrective animations. Open one of the additive animations, additive settings, local space, base pose setup, selected animation frame, and select here the anim additive base. Now we need to bind this skeleton pose with the morph target. Create a curve for the corresponding morph target. Open it. Add 1K and set the value to 1. Don't forget to save the asset. Do the same for the rest of the poses if you need. I will create a new animation blueprint, but you can modify your own blueprint if you have. Just for the demonstration, I will place here a constant walking animation I've exported from MakeHuman, but here you may have a lot of things that defines the animation, like state machine, inverse kinematic nodes, etc. And somewhere closer to the output pose, we need to create a new node, apply additive, drag and drop the additive one frame animation here and connect it. Hit compile, and as you see here, we have two lines. It means that this node controls the skeleton pose as well as the morph target. So we don't need to call set morph target node anywhere else. Everything is done in the anim graph. The only thing remains is to create a new floating point variable . Get it and connect it here. From now you can control the anim blueprint variable from the main character's blueprint. Just don't forget to make it public, or if you do cinematic, you can tick expose to cinematic and it will be editable from the cinematic sequencer. Thank you for attention. Bye bye.